All right, go ahead.
Okay. When I was younger, my mom and my dad stayed together, and I liked it. I liked having my mom and my dad together in one household.
Hmm.
It's like every kid's dream to have their mom and their dad together. But then when they wasn't together, and I started hearing them fussing and fighting, then I just realized that they probably just wasn't meant to be together, and I had to like be okay with that, and I was okay with that. And so now my dad moved off the house. I went from both parents to one parent, and so it was just me, my mom, and my brother. And so she worked like she worked she worked two jobs. She was a teacher in the day, and then she worked like at the university club. It was like this little club where all the stars would go and all the rich people would go.
Hmm.
And me and my brother would be at home by ourselves often, like since I was since I was like 10
Okay.
till maybe 13. And we would be at home, and that's how I learned how to cook. I learned how to cook. My brother learned how to cook, because we had to like be on our own often, so we had to learn how to defend for ourselves. With us being alone, we had rules to follow. We couldn't go outside. I lived a sheltered life because she was trying to protect us while she was at work. So we couldn't go outside. We couldn't do anything. We just did homework. But of course, young kid, you're gonna sneak outside anyway
Yeah.
and be bad. But because she was at work most of the time, we didn't really do much.
What was the kind of area that you live in? Was it predominantly
It was
pre-
predominantly black.
okay.
We lived we lived not too far from TSU. We were like directly across the freeway on Palm Street. Then we moved, like when I was in fourth grade, we moved to Missouri City area. When we moved to Missouri City area, it was like a whole bunch of black kids. It's still predominantly black here in Missouri City area.
Okay.
Um, those kids I grew up with, and I still know, and she still, the way that we move like throughout the year, she wanted us to have like a neighborhood feeling, because we would from Houston, we would move like from different areas, so we didn't have that neighborhood feeling. So when we came here to Missouri City, she wanted us to have that neighborhood feeling, something that's like familiar to us, to call it home.
Yeah.
So she like we would still move around Missouri City, but she was trying to keep us in that area with our same friends and their families, because these are people that we're connecting with. So she tried like her hardest to do that. Meanwhile, my dad, he lived like on the other side of town, like on the north side. But I love my dad, but I grew up with my mom because
Okay.
they were separate. But my dad would like, my dad would buy me stuff. I was spoiled, and I am spoiled now. But I was also spoiled because my dad, he has siblings and they don't have kids, so they would always buy me and my brother stuff. My dad would always buy me and my brother stuff, but it was mostly my mom. My mom bought me and my brother everything we needed. I was the only girl and he was the only boy, so I had everything I could ever wanted. I had pool tables, dolls, anything that I ever wanted. I had, and it was mine. I didn't have to share it with anybody because it was meant for a girl,
Yeah.
and I was the only girl.
Okay. So how would you like? Was there some of your friends that were a little bit less fortunate than you were, like that weren't getting any toys, that weren't getting, that weren't spoiled, or were they just about the same?
They were, as far as I know, when I was younger, they were just about the same.
Okay.
Because you know how some people hide their story and hide their feelings, and you would never know what they're going through.
Yeah.
I never knew, but I didn't really have friends. I mean, I had friends, but they weren't necessarily my friends. Like, I didn't start having like good friends until I got to high school. But like all the other people that I grew up with, we would talk here and there, but it was more like a jealousy thing. I
More
would
like
assume like,
acquaintances, is just not really friends. It's more like acquaintances, you would say.
yeah, like acquaintances. Like,
Yeah.
but I never understood that because I never understood like why would you want to be my friend next minute and then like you act like you don't know me.
Okay. So, next question is, uh, so when do you graduate?
I graduated May 2017. It's gonna be so
Okay.
epic. I'm
What's
so
your
happy.
what's your major?
Accounting.
All right. So, so where do you plan to work, or what do you plan to do with your career?
I have no clue what I'm planning on doing. I have no clue. I don't know if it's gonna. I like accounting, but my passion is not accounting. It's something dealing with art and creativity. Like I can do like shopping, be a buyer for a company, but I don't know about accounting. I don't know if I would be an accountant. I wouldn't mind if I am, but I know I just wouldn't be there for long
Okay.
because I'm not the type of person that likes to stay still and figure out numbers. Although it is my major, yes, and I like my major, but I simply did this major because I needed something that was going to guarantee me money.
Okay. And as far as guaranteeing you money, I mean, do you think it's guaranteed? Do you know anything about the job market right now?
As accounting right now, yes, it's guaranteed because there's a lot of people looking for accountants, and I picked accounting rather than business management because anybody can like manage a business, but most people are looking for people who can handle their money and who can handle it right. It does bring a lot of pressure because it is money, but that's what guarantees you the big money because you
Yeah.
can handle other people's money.
Okay. So, do you feel you as a woman going into the job market, do you think it'll be easier for you or harder to get a job?
It would be a little harder. It
Why
would
is
be
that?
a little harder because I would really have, because I'm a black woman, I would have to prove myself. But then also my background, I have to prove myself because I came from a black school. And because my black school has a negative rep, it's going to be really hard for me to get in because I'm competing with University of Houston students, Harvard students, Notre Dame students. I'm competing with all these students and it will be difficult. However, that's why I'm assuming they're pushing the CPA on most of our accounting students because they know if you get the CPA and we pass the CPA, then they have incentive to look at you.
Okay. Because of the same standardized test for everybody.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess that's a pretty good point. Um,
Anything else?
is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Here's another question. So, mainly what you talked about was equality, where you were in a school because it's, HBCU is not, as as high or as good. That's a lot of employers are assuming it's not as good as all the other schools.
Yeah, but it's a certain kind of HBCU because we are a HBCU that gets negative rap all the time. Other HBCUs like Howard, Spelman, Clark Atlanta, they can still be in competitive with Notre Dame and Harvard. They'll look at Notre Dame and Harvard first, of course, but then and on the same level of U of H, it would be Spelman and
Yeah.
Howard.
Why would you think that? You think it's because they have a little bit more money, or
It could be that they have a little bit more money, but then I don't even. Maybe because it's Houston, Texas, but you don't even Prairie View. I don't really even see Prairie View on the news as much as TSU is, and maybe because TSU is like right there, dead in the center of urban life.
Okay, well, thank you, Brittany, for the interview.
You're welcome.
Thanks.